podcast episode, hitting you with the in your face, unedited, straight, blunt talk about sports, finances, relationships, current events, and many other topics along the way. Check out my next episode. What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dom back at you with another True Players Podcast episode. Dom is GM. We're back with the True Players Podcast, especially on today. Today's going to be a special double header of podcast episodes at 6 p.m. I'm going to have Matthew from Jacobin Sports Show and Knicks Believe Pod join me later on the podcast, so definitely stay tuned to that. We're going to be on at 6 p.m. on the dot. Basically, I'm back with my own episode for now, just to talk about some NFL news. Got people out there asking you why I'm coming so late with news. I just wanted to let the dust settle, let the air clear out, and then speak on the moves that's been going on with the NFL right now over the past couple of weeks. There's a lot of surprising moves, and as you see, both New York teams have revamped their offensive line, and which I'm going to delve right into that as well. But before we even continue with the podcast, before we start with the podcast, I want to send out prayers to the citizens over there in Baltimore, where happened that tragic accident that happened with the bridge falling apart because of a ship. Send my prayers out to all the survivors and anyone who have lost loved ones during that incident. My prayers are with you and your family. I'm going to give a big shout to Dow Strawberry. 2 weeks ago, he had a heart attack. He's on the mend, you know what I'm saying? So I want to send prayers to Dow Strawberry as well. And let's get right into it, guys, because you guys going to see me in about an hour and 50 minutes later. So let's get into it right now. All right. So the NFL big news. The news I want to talk about is Pittsburgh getting 2 quarterbacks. You got NFL teams looking for 1 quarterback. Pittsburgh end up getting 2 starting caliber quarterbacks. First signing Russell Wilson to the veteran league minimum. His time in Denver was completely over once they benched him for the last couple of games of the season. Russell Wilson was not going back there. I was kind of hoping he was going to come to the Giants and compete with Daniel Jones for the starting job, but he ends up going to Pittsburgh. Let me tell you something, guys. Mike Tomlin already said he has to compete for that position, because they did end up trading for Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears. So I want to see that competition unfold. I do believe, outside looking in, me not being a bit Pittsburgh Steeler fan, outside looking in, I could see Russell Wilson winning the job based on his veteran experience, and have Justin Fields learn some more off of him. And eventually Justin Fields will take over late in the season if the offense does sputter. But, like I said, I think Justin Fields is very capable of being a starting quarterback in this league. He shown it last year, which I was shocked that the Chicago Bears traded him away, knowing that they already have their quarterback in the fold. They could have traded down, got some more picks, and really build the other holes in their lineup. You see Derrick Henry signs with the Ravens. That puts the Ravens in a very big position. Last season, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. You add that element to that offense with Lamar Jackson, who's a dual threat, who's been playing more in the pocket last season than they did in previous years. You had Derrick Henry in there, the battering ram. Come fourth quarter, ain't nobody's going to try to tackle him, which is a big boost for the Ravens. And also, another trade that I really like. Not what I really like, but giving C.J. Stroud a big running back in Joe Mixon from Cincinnati. I don't know why Cincinnati is making this move. They got some issues there with T. Higgins asking for a trade. Listen, I want Joey Burrows to be back in the playoffs, but the AFC North is looking real tough right now. All 4 teams could win the division right now. And also, small news. Marcus Mariota signs with the Commanders. I think he has the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for the Commanders. They got no one, that really stands out as the starting quarterback over there in Washington. Saquon, big news. Saquon signs with the Eagles. I wanted to talk to the Giants fans about this. Let me see if I could add the post, invite people to the podcast. Any Giants fans out there want to talk about it? A lot of things have been said, whether it's through WFAN or say that he betrayed the Giants. Let me tell you something. The Giants were hamstrung in providing him a contract that would make him happy. Even though he signed with the Eagles, 3 years, $37.75 million contract with 25.5 fully guaranteed. Could the Giants have done that? I don't know the cap situation like that. I doubt they could. I think signing Daniel Jones to that big contract really handcuffed them from re-signing Saquon Barkley. Didn't even provide him with an offer. Saquon Barkley has to do what's best for Saquon Barkley. And he's going to the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. Want to see how that offense is going to look now with him in the lineup. Less pressure on him to carry the offensive load on his back. But the thing about Saquon Barkley is always the injury bug. Can he stay healthy for a full season? That's been the issue with the Giants. And hopefully, that won't be enough problem with the Eagles, but you never know. Once a guy has a history of injuries, it never goes away. All right. So Mac Jones traded from Patriots to the Jags to back up Trevor Lawrence. What a turn of events for Mac Jones. Drafted the same draft as Trevor Lawrence, and now he's backing him up in Jacksonville. Maybe Doug Peterson could fix him up and get him ready to start for another team for the following season. My man, Sam Darnold, baby, signed with the Vikings with the opportunity to be their starting quarterback. Since Kirk Cousins, another big move by the Falcons. Big move. Falcons are making some noise right now. Signed Kirk Cousins. But Sam Darnold has the opportunity to start with the Minnesota Vikings. He finally has a weapon he could throw the ball to in Justin Jefferson if he decides to stay. Now we get the opportunity to see what Sam Darnold looks like with a weapon in his arsenal if he's able to win the starting job. Like I said, Kirk Cousins with the Falcons. Falcons is making some big moves to the point that they probably be the going away favorite to win the NFC South right now on paper. So, and Jimmy G signs up with the Rams to back up Bradford. Eventually, probably will take over to him. Because I think Bradford is I think the starting quarterback for the Rams, the Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think he's ready to retire. He's ready. Stafford. Yeah, Matthew Stafford. I'm saying Bradford. Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I think he's at the point that he's getting ready to call it a career. So we'll see what happens in that. Like I said, and also Pickett gets traded from the Eagles to the Steelers. Just traded to the Eagles from the Steelers because he didn't want to. Something happened with him and the Steelers in the locker room or in the office that it couldn't work something out. I think Pickett was upset that they signed Russell Wilson. So he was like, let me get out of Dodge. Let me go to another team. But now he's backing up Jalen Hurts. So he's not going to be starting. He's going to be a backup quarterback. All right. So now let's get to the Giants first. The New York Giants, you know what I'm saying? They lost Saquon Barkley, a big part of the offense, but they were able to revamp the offensive line. They signed Devin Singletary to be his replacement. Signed Drew Lock to back up Daniel Jones. Everyone's been saying that he could be a threat to the starting job, but Brian Daboll has already mentioned Daniel Jones is his man. He's going to rock with him. So now what the Giants need to do now is now they provide with the offensive line help. They signed John Runyon, Matt Nelson, Aaron Stinney, and they got another center, Austin Slotman, and also Matt Nelson and Jermaine Illuminor. They signed a free agent with Isaiah McKenzie, another weapon for Daniel Jones. But like I seen a comment by Kyle Rudolph, former Giant tight end, supporting Daniel Jones. It was saying that, listen, why don't you give Daniel Jones finally a number one receiver to throw the ball to, a true number one receiver. You still got Darius Slayton there, but like I said, give this man a true number one, and then provide him with a true evaluation. He did have a stud running back in Saquonbarkley, but now let's give this kid a number one wide receiver to throw to, so you do your due diligence on your evaluation. I want to know what you guys think about the New York Giants about that. They got an edge rusher, Brian Burns, for the Panthers. They got an extra fourth round pick. Actually, didn't they? Gave away two picks, second round and fifth round picks, and a 25 conditional fifth rounder. And then they were able to extend them, which is good. That's what you do. When you're giving up that much draft picks, you're able to extend the guy, which is good news. Now, where do the Giants go from here? They got a pick in the first round, number 6 pick, the round 2, number 47, round 3, number 70th pick, round 4, 107 pick, and round 5, 166 pick, and round 6, 183rd pick. No 7th round pick for the New York Giants, but they got the first 6 rounds taken care of. Where Giants fans do you think the Giants should go with this? I still think the Giants need a linebacker, a big time linebacker. Probably they got Darren Waller. Get more help on the receiving end and get more help in the running back room, and continue to build more depth on the offensive line for the New York Giants. I think that's the best thing they should be doing is building that depth in the offensive line. Also get more edge rushers, get more inside rushers, outside the edge rushers. You got 6 picks to make it happen, Giants. So let's make it good. And hopefully they'll be back in the playoff hunt for next season. Now let's get to my New York Jets. I must say they have been undefeated in the offseason over the past 2 seasons, winning the Super Bowl of the offseason, according to a lot of people. First things first, they got the situation taken care of as far as getting a viable backup for Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. He looked pretty shaky at points with the Giants, but he's a better backup than what we had last season with Zach Wilson. They got another receiver, a big time receiver, 6'4" receiver, Mike Williams, to pair with Garrett Wilson. You got a big receiver that's get the jump balls. This Mike Williams, when healthy, is as good a receiver as anybody in the league. However, the key point is availability with his health. The man has to be available. He wasn't available a lot for the Chargers last season, which took away from Justin Herbert's weaponry. But let's just hope he'll be available for Aaron Rodgers to have the ball thrown to. They brought in Alan Lazard, which was a disaster. The Jets can't get rid of him because if they cut him, it'll be a cap hit. No one wants to trade for him, of course, because he's not that good. Makes you wonder if you guys were better off with Denzel Mims in that position or Elijah Moore in that position than Alan Lazard. But I digress. But the New York Jets improved where they had to improve via free agency. They got John Simpson play the guard position after they cut Laken Tomlinson. They traded back for Morgan Moses to play the right tackle position, which in essence is just Joe Douglas just admitted by that trade that he made a mistake and let him go to the Ravens. They picked up Tyronsmith, the big left tackle from the Dallas Cowboys. But the issue with him is, just like Mike Williams, is availability. Will he be available for the full 16 games? He hasn't played 16 games in a couple of seasons. So will you have that availability? But thank God the Jets still have Carter Warren, who's going to be his dad's the backup left tackle, which I've seen him play in a couple of games with the Jets. He looked decent. Wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but he looked decent enough that he could fill that position decently. Okay. Now the Jets also picked up 2 D tackles, Javon Kinlaw and Leki Fatu to help inside with Quinnen, with Q Williams. They re-signed Solomon Thomas. They got Isaiah Oliver for the nickelback position. I'm not sure what's going on with Michael Carter on the defensive side of the ball, but we'll see what happens with that as we continue on with the New York Jets. They re-signed the kickers, the punter and the kicker, Zerline, Thomas Morstead. They re-signed, which I'm very happy about, because for years the Jets have been struggling with punters and kickers. They finally keep those guys in the toe. We definitely gonna have great good season with them, both punting and kicking the football for field goals. Now, we had Jadeveonclowney come into Florham Park for a visit, which Joe Douglas has said it was a great visit. Now, if it was such a great visit, right? Why did he leave? Why did he come back with a contract? Sorry, as my phone is going off during the podcast, I apologize for that. All right. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so if he had a great meeting with Jadeveonclowney, right? How come he didn't leave the contract until you signed him? Brycehuff left the team. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of fans are very upset that he left the team. But Brycehuff played a great edge position, playing half the plays. There's always he struggles against the run. If you sign Jadeveonclowney, you get an older player. Yes, you get an older player. Mm-hmm. But he's good as a pass rusher. He's great. He's good as a run stopper. So you get both worlds with Jadeveonclowney. Because the Jets are a win-now team, guys. They're a win-now team, and they're ready. They should be ready. But like I said, it all depends on health, and it has to do with the coaching with Robert Saleh. He's on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are on the clock. This is their season. They're both Joe Douglas is on a lame duck status right now. So if he doesn't hit a home run with these free agents this season, we're going to be looking at a new GM next season. I'll tell you that much. New GM next season. But now, this is what, my thoughts. Great trades, good signings. But now you're looking at the Jets draft picks right now. They got a 10th pick in round 1. They have no picks for round 2. A pick for round 3, a pick for round 4, 2 in round 4, 1 in round 6, and 2 in round 7. For some reason, guys, I'm just of the proponent that I would love to have a pick in the second round. If you have to sacrifice some of those picks to get yourself into the second round, whether it's a low second round draft pick or not, something to get them into the second round, just to build more depth in the offensive line as well as the wide receiver room. The main objective in this draft, in my opinion, is to get offensive tackle depth, wide receiver, try to draft a stud wide receiver coming out of college. And most importantly, try to get yourself another stud D tackle to go with Q. I know we signed Lakey and Javon, but it's always good to develop someone that you drafted. So Jets should be definitely looking to that, and look at safety. Look at safety as well, in my opinion, because you could never have enough safeties. People are saying Jamal Adams is available, but I think Jamal Adams' stock has been dropping it's like a stock. He's like a stock market. He just crashed. So I don't want any part of Jamal Adams other than the backup role. Backup. Play a little linebacker on passing downs if you want to play a big nickel or something like that. Now, these are still available free agents that I feel the Jets should definitely take a look at. One is, for some reason, Stephon Gilmore should be on the Jets' radar. You could never have enough help in the secondary. Stephon Gilmore was the starting cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. He went down with the injury last season with the ACL. The Jets should definitely take a look at him. But more importantly, I think they should definitely look into Kyle Duggar, the outstanding safety from the former safety from the New England Patriots. Bring him in, see what he can bring to the defense side of the football. The Jets are not where they're supposed to be in safety, and they have an opportunity to change that. Hell, Marcus May was just cut by the New Orleans Saints. He knows his defense. Want the Joe Douglas should call him up and see what it would take to bring him back. Marcus May himself may not want to come back to the New York Jets, but at least Joe Douglas should at least put in the call to see what could happen to bring Marcus May back. I'm not sure if he signed yet, but got to put in that call. And now for our remaining free agents, we got Mekhi Becton, Ashtyn Davis, Justin Hardy, Connor McGovern, who are still available. In my opinion, I would not be mad if the Jets are able to re-sign all four of them. And here's the reason why. The main reason why. Justin Hardy is the number one guy that I think you should re-sign. He's a special teamer, pro bowler in the special teams. Special teams could change the football game in many ways, and he could change that game. The way he plays special teams on that gunner position, you got to re-sign him first. That's the first priority. Now, the second priority, in my opinion, is the offensive line. If you could re-sign Connor McGovern, or if you could re-sign Mekhi Becton, now you get him as a team-friendly contract. Less pressure on Mekhi Becton to be the stud left tackle that he was drafted to be. But this is a low risk and high reward. Mekhi Becton hasn't played a full season before last year for 2 seasons. First season back from injury, full season back from injury. He did look shaky. Kayvon Thibodeau had him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think the Oakland Raider DN was it Mac? Was it Mac or was someone else ate him up too? I would say resign Mekhi Becton 1 year after coming back from surgery. 1 year, 1 full season back. Hopefully the second season will be better for him as a backup role. He's not going to start over Tyronsmith on the left side. You know what I'm saying? Give him a look, see what may happen. You never know what may happen. Remember, this is his second full season back from being out, with injuries. Usually the first season back from injury is the rough one. But now the second one, you never know what could happen. So, and Connor McGovern, like I said, you can't go wrong with re-signing him as well, providing a decent backup at center position for Joe Tippmann, and also re-signing Ashtyn Davis. That could be the answer for the safety, the backfield and safety. Could be the answer for the safety position. I wasn't a big fan of him when he was drafted, but he grew on me last season. He made some decent plays. The Jets lost Whitehead, went up going to Tampa Bay. A few ex-Jets went up going to Tampa Bay with Todd Bowles. Bryce Hall went there, which I felt the Jets should have kept. I know I was down on him early in his career, but you know what? That when he stepped in for DJ Reed, it really opened my eyes. I felt like if they had kept him, you could have had 2 cornerbacks over 6 feet playing on both sides. That would be something. That'd be something else. You got cornerbacks who could actually fight receivers for jump balls in the end zone, which kind of excites me. I kind of like big corners. I'm not a fan of the 5'11" corners, unless you could play like freaking Darryl Green, or you could play like freaking Aaron Glenn. Other than that, I'm not too big on 5'9", 5'10" cornerbacks on the outside. For the Sox, you could get away with that, but not for the outside. Now we go back to the very last question of this segment of the New York Jets. What to do with Zach Wilson? This is going to be fun, guys, because you guys are probably going to be like, oh, shoot, have I went crazy? The best thing and the only thing you could do with Zach Wilson is to keep him and put him in the third quarterback position. Make him the third quarterback. You know why? Because if you can't trade him, you're not going to get what you want for him. Teams are not even offering you a 7th round draft pick for Sam Darnold. But who knows what may happen during draft day, which is going to be on April 27th. I will talk about that a little bit later before we end the podcast. This podcast, which is the doubleheader day of the True Players podcast. I would say keep him, but not pick up his 5th-year option. Therefore, by the time this season is over, you let him go on the greener pastures. You're not gonna take that cap hit. Oh, not gonna take a cap hit, or not take as much of a cap hit if you try to cut him now. Keep him on the team. Hopefully, the light bulb will shine on his head. The pressure's not on him. The camera's not on him. He could actually learn from Aaron Rodgers, learn from Tyrod Taylor, how to be a professional quarterback, how to make plays, how to get out of himself. But like I said, guys, it's all about coaching. What are you going to do in the offensive room? Who's going to be calling the plays for the offensive side of the football? Who's going to be doing that? Because what we've been saying is it's not going to be Hackett. From what I'm understanding, I could be wrong, but I'm saying won't be Hackett calling the plays. So we're going to see what happens because like I said, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, you guys are on the clock now. The owner has said it. If you guys don't get it done this season, it's over. And we're going to be looking for a new head coach and new GM. I just posted the link on the comment section, so you guys want to jump in on the podcast, you can. Like I said, I will be back at 6 p.m. along with my good buddy, good friend Matt. We're going to talk about New York Mets opening day, which has been officially moved to Friday because of weather. So me and him, we're going to sit there and talk about that as well. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to get into the questions I'm going to pose to Matt on the next on the podcast at 6 p.m. I hope he's watching. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe that Petealonso will resign with the New York Mets? That's one of the questions I'm going to ask Matt on the podcast. I will give you my answer on the next podcast, on the 6 p.m. podcast. I'm excited to have him on the show. Can Luis Severino return to form, come back from injury, and give the New York Mets at least 15 double-digit wins? I want 15 wins, but double-digit wins I could take. I could live with that. My thoughts, I'm definitely going to give you guys. I like the signing of JD Martinez. I knew Steve Cohen was going to sit there and stand pat and just be like, "Oh, we're going to let this season play off as me." Remember, this guy is a hedge fund owner. He doesn't take time off when he's trying to make his wealth. He's like, so definitely not going to take time off on this team either. So see what happens. Tyler McGill wins the fifth starter spot on the rotation up until Kodai Senga comes back from injury. And another key for the New York Mets is will Starlin Castro come back to form like he did in the 2022 season with the New York Mets. 2023 was a wash because he was injured with the groin. He had the groin injury. He had many injury issues. Now, can he go back to the form of 2022? Because what held this Mets team back was not the pitching per se. It was the offensive side of the baseball field, getting big hits. Do you guys believe Jeff McNeil is going to get traded this season? We got a lot to talk about with my guy Matthew at 6 p.m. So definitely tune in. We're going to be back at 6 p.m., guys. So on that note, before I end the podcast, I'm going to speak about the tribulations of my parents' country, Haiti. I'm going to tell everybody, don't believe everything you see on the television screen. There's a lot of spots in Haiti that's completely safe. I just saw a picture. My cousin posted a picture of my uncle in Cape Haitian, where it's peaceful. He spent Easter out there. Don't believe what the news is telling you about Haiti's that bad, this, that, and the other. Even though I do have family members coming back to the United States because of the unrest. But the reason why in my opinion, humble opinion, the reason why for the unrest is that it's too many international hands or greedy hands trying to get into my parents' country to get their resources. That's why I truly believe why this is happening. The greatest enemy of unity is chaos. But chaos is something that's created. It's not chaos can only be created. It doesn't just naturally happen. So my question to you is for my fellow Haitians out there, anybody who supports Haiti, whether in the Caribbean or not, who's responsible for the chaos that's going on in Haiti? Part of it is the gangs, but who's giving the gangs the guns, their weapon, their ammunitions, all that stuff? Who's giving them that to make the so much unrest in Haiti? They got, which is first step. Get them out of there. We need Haiti needs some solid leadership outside of international influence, which includes CARICOM, which includes United Nations. Haiti could solve their problems on their own. I truly believe that. But you have to have the right people in place to make that happen. So my question to you is, by Haitian people, who do you want to be that president of Haiti? Who do you want to be the prime minister of Haiti? Who do you want to be in the parliament of Haiti to ensure that Haiti rises from the ashes like the phoenix? Because Nostradamus predicted it. Haiti's going to rise. It's all about when she's going to rise, and then people are going to start to pay for the destruction of her. You know what I'm saying? Nostradamus predicted the rise of Haiti. He predicted it. So don't allow outside forces to erase the memory of 1804. This is part of the process. The chaos is happening. So when the people come and people who are causing the chaos, I'm not saying who. I'm not going to say who I think it is. But you guys can make the addition. 1 + 1 is 2, right? Okay. There you have it. But the very memory of 1804, the legend of 1804, this is what they're trying to erase. And we as Haitian people, whether you're Haitian American or you're third generation Haitian American or the first generation Haitian American or you're just Haitian, we as a people must come together to not allow that to happen. Because the legend of 1804, the history behind 1804, and I'm not saying this because I'm Haitian. I'm Haitian American. I come from Haitian parents. I'm saying it because it's sheer fact. The history behind 1804 is the most beautiful piece of history you will ever hear in your lifetime.
HDMI1.
I don't know what just happened. They cut me off. I don't know what happened. But guys, like I said, 1804 is the most beautiful history. The saga, the legend behind it is the most beautiful history of all times. And I will end on that note. Till 6 p.m. Well, I have my guy, Matthew, joining me on the podcast. So it's your man, Big Dom, signing off on this first episode of the Doubleheader back at the True Players Podcast. I will have a big announcement on the 6 p.m. podcast about where the True Players Podcast is going to go from here as far as set time for new episodes. A big watch party for the NFL draft. We're going to talk about it on the next episode, which is going to be at 6 p.m. tonight. So it's your man, Big Dom. I'm going to sign off on this podcast. Peace.